Hello ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL. Welcome to, of course, another Loadout video. You're seeing this, you're not seeing the patch that I got in that's going to be going here on my breast pocket, but I can assure you it's going to go there. Now this may not be rocked, and another variant of it may be rocked, but I haven't decided yet. But what I will say though, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is what I'm going to be rocking at the Sector 9 game day, the open game day, as well as, of course, a special event that has its own separate video, and that loadout will be talked about extensively. To a degree, mind you. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, let's talk about the gear and loadout. So, folks, I have this loadout here, which is basically based off of the Enclave fatigues from America Rising 2 Legacy of the Enclave review in the works. I promise you it's going to come out before the weekend. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, why this? Well, number one, I love Fallout, and number two, I love trying to replicate the loadouts from said games I love playing, or from fan works that are basically playing. Next loadout will be Brotherhood of Steel, I promise you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, going forward, this loadout may be subject to change, but what will stay the same is the basic black uniform. Now, will I try and replicate, of course, say, the Under Armour that we see in the game? Maybe. Haven't decided yet, but I promise you it may happen. Because, again, this is basically just the fatigues for your basic, grunt. Not your operatives, or your special forces, or your officers. Again, just basic grunts and NCOs. So, just basic fatigues at the moment. As for the guns, however, that's where fun things get to happen, as well as some projects that are in the work. So here are the guns I'll be rocking at Sector 9. One of them, well, two of them are going to be full-on rifles. One is a rifle, one is a battle rifle. I'll be taking, of course, the HKG3, or the R91, or just basically the G3, to the game itself, as well, of course, the M16A1, or the Colt rifle, or the service rifle, or, just the Fallout Tactics assault rifle, or, the Fallout 4 service rifle. There's not a lot to get into when it comes to the rifles themselves, but the other one I think you will love, and it is a carbine, and it is one that I've gotten a lot of requests on to kind of talk about and kind of go into detail on, and it is, of course, my future Wasteland Combat Carbine, or Combat Rifle from Fallout 4, and of course, the Commonwealth. Or more specifically, the Well/UK Arms D69 AEG, the M1 Carbine AEG. This thing legitimately has gotten some improvements. I have basically put more spacers up here to basically try and get this to kind of look, not be as low, as you can see. This thing legitimately is going to get some work done on it by a friend of mine, aka Wolfman, who actually has a 3D printer and is basically now looking forward to the project and may or may not get into the Fallout loadouts as well. I don't know yet. That's up to Wolfman and his own discretion and his spending of money. But this thing legitimately I've had a lot of fun with. I cannot wait to see what kind of evil the dude comes up with for this bad boy and what he does going forward with it. So, this may be the last time you see it, but before it leaves to Wolfman's hands, I will open her up and I will be doing a deep dive into the internals, because, again, Tanner, a guy who legitimately has been kind of constant in the comment section so far for a lot of these videos, wants to know what the internals look like, and by God, I'll do that video for him, because, honestly, people need to know more about this, and there needs to be more video content about this gun, because legitimately, this thing, more people need to know about it. Like, legit, they need to know about it. It is such a weird and wacky and tinker's gun. It is so much fun. Moving on, though. Now, in terms of actual handguns, that's where this fun bit gets kind of good. Because, let's face it, I've got a good amount of handguns I got to review this month in October. So, I'll be bringing 3 of them just to run them by themselves and just for the giggles of it. So, yeah, one of them, of course, is... Whoops, not that one. Unless you want this one to be in the Hidden Gems month. Let me know in the comment section down below, but this ain't one of them, Chief. The first one, of course, is a tried-and-true staple of the Fallout series, thanks to Honest Hearts, and, the Burned Man himself. That, of course, is the handgun of the Lord himself, the 1911, or in this case, the KWC Springer M1911A1, and I will be taking this one to the field just because, why not? And I've got to do a review on it, so again, why not? It's one of those fun little handguns that, legit, I just kind of want to do a, review on. It's a hidden gem in my mind, and, well, you'll find out why when the review for it comes out. But, either way, though, ladies and gentlemen, the next handgun is also another staple in the Fallout series. Be it the wild wastelands of Chicago or the Midwest, this handgun has seen use in many a raider, a mercenary, and even Brotherhood Initiate or Brotherhood of Steel member of the Midwestern chapters, or really just the earlier Fallout games in general. That, of course, being the Sig Sauer P226, or the P226, or just the Sig Sauer handgun in general. Now, yes, this is the pink variant, but, ladies and gentlemen, this is a staple of Fallout, even if the canonicity of the games which it appeared in are in question. But, I can assure you, the SIG is going to basically be a part of the mini reviews, of course, that are going to be happening in October. And as such, this little handgun here is going to be used to great extent out there at the field. And once again, because it is basically Springer, I don't got to worry about gas or otherwise. Once again, one of those, I believe it's a hidden gem, and again, this was in a Fallout game, so technically speaking, it's not a stretch to say that this would be probably in the hands of many in the Fallout Wasteland, maybe even, some true inheritors of the Wasteland's hands, such as the Enclave. The last handgun, though, is in question, and I leave in the comments section to you to decide whether or not it would be canon or not canon in the Fallout universe. First being a HFC non-blowback with a suppressor Mauser handgun. This right here is one of those cheapies that I legitimately have had on my review list for a long time. You can find these out in any tourist trap that basically sells airsoft guns, and this probably being the most expensive out of them on their handgun category. It's HFC. The fire selector, of course, is just a little bit, the slide safety is just a little bit wonky, to say the least. But legitimately, I'm kind of intrigued by it, especially the fact that the suppressor does kind of work, and it is a little bit quiet. It is a tiny bit quiet. And it definitely will be interesting to actually do a review on this. Not gonna lie, I am going to kind of have fun with it, especially with its weird, wonky stick magazine that you only saw in the early days of Airsoft, or, that you can see in the background, my Tokyo Marui 1911 Springer that is still in box, and I probably won't ever pull out, except in very, very rare occasions. But, yeah, this is one of the guns I will be taking out there and definitely having fun with. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there have been a few times where I wanted to take something out there and I want to kind of have a little bit more fun with and kind of just be like, hey, I want to kind of have some interesting times with. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to do that because, again, I kind of want to keep this as somewhat lore accurate as possible to an Enclave Fatigues trooper out in the wasteland. I don't have any plasma weapons, but I do have a lot of ballistics, so, that's my kind of game style. I like guns, I love ballistics. I could not care less about energy weapons unless they're plasma. And yes, I will happily die on that hill saying that plasma weapons are still the best weapons to have in terms of energy weapons in Fallout. I don't care about you laser lovers, because laser rifles, or laser guns in general, should not have recoil. I'm going to move on to one last piece of equipment before I end the video here, because this one I had a lot of fun with, and I'm going to kind of have a little bit more fun with, and that is, of course, my Enclave combat helmet. Enclave combat helmet, of course, being an actual military surplus Kevlar M88 that has a post-GWAT era style strap system, or at least helmet system put into it. Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those fun ones because, again, one of those things, you're seeing this. Again, I only have the MVG mount on here because of this, which I will be doing a video on this in the future, but only after October. This is more of a get someone for Christmas type deal, but yeah, we're gonna kind of ignore that part because again, it's still October. It's Halloween, not Christmas yet, and then there's Thanksgiving before Christmas. But rant aside, this is definitely gonna be one of those fun ones of it's definitely gonna add weight to my head, and it's definitely gonna be a little bit heavy. But I do have the light variant of the M88 with me, the standard, of course, combat helmet, in case this one gets a little bit too top heavy for my head, and I have to switch over to something that's a little bit more light. So yeah. One of those things. Unless, of course, my friends decide to bring, of course, their, head strap for their GoPros, then I can basically swap that over to just wearing a beret. Either way, though, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been AirsoftAL, and I hope you like this loadout video, as well as kind of what I've been talking about here. There is a lot more I want to kind of go into detail on, but I kind of don't want to because, again, there is a huge Halloween event happening at Sector 9, and I will be doing a video announcing that and talking about it and what's kind of going on. So, do know now that that video will come out, but until I get the full information on it, yeah. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been AirsoftAL, and I shall see you lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later.